Hey, what is up? Welcome to this featured Friday of the Wantrepreneur to Entrepreneur podcast. As always, I'm your host, Brian Lofrumento, and gosh, am I excited about this featured Friday episode because I'm going to talk about what everybody else is talking about. The presidential debate from this week, as well as the election in general. No matter where in the world you're tuning in from, this episode is going to be highly relevant for you because I'm talking about all this stuff through the lens and through the perspective of entrepreneurs. I'm excited about this one. Let's dive in. All right, so the biggest thing I love about Featured Friday episodes is that I get to talk about any topics. These are topics that I feature intentionally because I don't think we talk about them enough as entrepreneurs. And this week's Featured Friday topic is definitely a timely one because I am talking politics. And if you've been a longtime listener of this show, you know how far away I stay from politics because there's plenty of work to go around. We got to get down to business. We got to serve some people. And I just think as entrepreneurs, it's easy to get wrapped up, or quite frankly, as human beings, it's easy to get wrapped up in the political cycle and watching the news and all these crazy things. And trust me, I am a political junkie. If there's one thing I love to talk about, it is politics. And that's why I'm using this forum today, this episode, to really talk about my views on political things as an entrepreneur. And most importantly, to help you through this political jungle, this political landscape that we're seeing here in 2020. And obviously, I'm approaching this from an American perspective here in the United States, but I also know that worldwide politics have a lot to say and a lot to do as time goes on. So it's really important to understand that we are citizens of the world. But really what I want to talk about on today's episode is as entrepreneurs. I don't know if you watched the debate this week. I watched every single second of it. I did the cliche thing. I made some popcorn, sat down in the living room with my family. Actually, I'm here visiting my parents in Boston, Massachusetts this week. And we just watched the debate. And I don't know about you, but my biggest takeaway from the debate, and I've heard a lot of commentators, both political commentators and non-political commentators say this, and they said, gosh, I don't know what we were supposed to take from that debate. And in fact, what I took away from that debate was only one thing, that if this is what we're relying on for our future, if this is what we're relying on for our well-being, then we are relying in the wrong place. And I say that as an entrepreneur in a really excited fashion because as entrepreneurs, there's one thing that I think we've always done really well when it comes to our own well-being, our own financial security, our own work ethic, our own everything is that we have always been empowered ourselves. And you can pick literally any entrepreneurial journey from Damon John to Mark Cuban, just to call out two of the awesome Shark Tank sharks on that TV show. You're talking multimillionaires, billionaires in the case of Mark Cuban. Barbara Corcoran, another great example. I'm going to pull in Oprah as another incredible example. The great thing about entrepreneurs is we've withstood the test of time, no matter what time period in this country or no matter what time period in the world, even before technology. Entrepreneurs have been the ones to create and control their own destiny. Now, I hear the counter argument, and trust me, when I scroll through Facebook, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing. Everybody's talking about politics, like, oh my gosh, this person's tax policy is going to destroy our country. This person's tax policy is going to destroy our country. And we saw it on this week's debate, where Joe Biden said, I want the corporate tax rate to go up to 28%. Donald Trump says, I want it to be 21%. Fact checkers, don't come quote me on that. These are just general numbers. And so all of these things are pointing to these entrepreneurial and business and economic impacts of the presidency and of politics. But here's why I want to do today's Featured Friday topic. It's because I strongly feel that as entrepreneurs, no matter what happened in this week's debate, no matter what happens in the upcoming debates, no matter what happens in this election, and there's a lot at stake. You can listen to the political commentators for all of that stuff. But I'm telling you that no matter what happens in this election, as entrepreneurs, our mission does not change. Our mission does not change no matter what happens within the political arena. No matter what, you have the very same mission that I have today. When I woke up today, I knew that I had three main missions on this planet. My mission is to do what's best for me. do what's best for those people that I care about, and do what's best for the people that I serve and the people that I impact. That's it. Those are my 3 priorities when I woke up today. And guess what my 3 priorities are going to be tomorrow? Do what's best for me, do what's best for the ones that I care about, and do what's best for the people that I aim to serve and impact. That's it. Every single day I wake up. And no matter what happens on election day, those 3 things will remain consistent. I think it's really important as entrepreneurs in times of turmoil, in times of uncertainty, that we simply, in times where we can't control things, that we do grab on to the things that we can control. We can't control the next Supreme Court justice. We can't control what the tax rate is going to be. We can't control so many different things. And in fact, I'd argue in many cases that even the president can't control a lot of these things. If you're waiting for your perfect candidate to come in and save you, the real person who can save you is you. And that's why I love entrepreneurship. That's why I love doing this, because I'm not reliant on a boss. I'm not reliant on certain conditions and laws and all these different things to pass. As long as I have the ability to myself to take care of those 3 things, then my priorities don't change. Does that mean I don't care about the macro issues? Does that mean I don't care about the societal issues? No, of course I care. In fact, I love politics. Like, I would talk to anybody about politics until the cows come home. It's a really favorite topic of mine, and it has been for quite some time. But the truth is, when it comes to me and my priorities in my day-to-day life and my business, I know that there are only 3 things I can control. Taking care of myself, taking care of the people that I love, and taking care of the people that I serve and impact, which is you, the podcast listeners, which is you, the people in the Wantrepreneur to Entrepreneur audience, which is the people that I aim to serve. And so there's a million things I can't control. My vote, sure, you could say, well, Brian, no, you do have to care. You do have to vote. Cool, I'm one vote. And what I do on ballot day does not then affect what I have to do and what I have to prioritize the day after that. Because when I wake up the next morning after casting my ballot, I still come back to those same 3 priorities. Take care of myself, take care of the people I love, take care of the people that I serve. Do my best work possible. And I see so many entrepreneurs getting wrapped up in so many of these topics. And again, I get it. You're passionate about it. You care about it. But as entrepreneurs, we always have to remember that those 3 priorities come first. Those 3 priorities, if we ignore those, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you and I were sitting here as multimillionaires or as billionaires, we'd have a heck of a lot more impact with the causes that we care about. We could go spend a lot of money and back and drive more awareness to the causes that we care about. That's important, but it only comes when we focus on taking care of those 3 things. So shout out to Michael Kittinger, who was a guest on the Wantrepreneur to Entrepreneur podcast last week. He's commenting on my live stream. He said, great perspective, but it was a train wreck you couldn't look away from. You got to admit that. Yeah, Michael, that's the thing, is politics in general, there will always be disagreements. It'll always be turmoil. It'll always be uncontrolled. To an extent, obviously, there's different degrees of turmoil, but at the end of the day, it just goes to point out, Michael, we don't have to be a train wreck. Whatever else is going around, and I've done a podcast episode about this before. It actually reminds me of that quote that I found. I still love it to this day, where it said, ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. I love that quote. It's so strong. It's so effective. And that's what I wanted to share on today's podcast episode, which is no matter what happens, take care of those 3 priorities. Take care, because those are the things that absolutely matter. So it's easy to get caught up, but stay focused. Stay on your course. Nobody else is looking out for you the way that you're looking out for you. Whoever your candidate is, they're not going to take care of you when you wake up tomorrow. So you need to take care of you. You need to take care of the people that you're meant to serve. That's it from me in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this Featured Friday episode. Featured Friday is so much fun because I literally get to talk about anything. And this is the stuff that matters. This is the stuff that's happening around us as entrepreneurs. So it's so important to stay the course, to stay focused. And I do want to remind you, this episode is brought by the Launch Coalition. The Launch Coalition is a community of growth-focused entrepreneurs where we grow together. I love seeing the value that people share. Fernanda, for example, is one of our Launch Coalition members. She's an incredible entrepreneur. She just shared an incredible value post the other day about how she generates hundreds or thousands of leads for her business. She owns a software company, actually here in Boston, which is a fun little local connection for me. Fernanda posted about how she uses Product Hunt to launch products to get more attention whenever she launches anything new. So it's really cool hearing from real life people who are doing real life things. Shout out to another coalition member, Mitch, who dropped an incredible value post about how he uses client check-ins, client reports to say, hey, if you know any other businesses who want to ramp up their marketing, ramp up their paid advertising, I'd love to help their businesses as well. Can you connect me? So lots of really great strategic conversations are being had in the Launch Coalition. If you're wondering how to become a part of the coalition, you want to surround yourself with a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who care about your growth, then go to launchcoalition.com. launchcoalition.com. Seriously, check it out. Everything you'll ever need to know about the Launch Coalition is there, including an 8-minute video from yours truly pouring my heart out about why I think community is the answer for entrepreneurs who are serious about rapidly launching and accelerating their business's growth. So launchcoalition.com. That's it from me this week. The next time you'll hear from me, I'll be in Ukraine, broadcasting live from there, as always, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on the Wantrepreneur to Entrepreneur podcast.